from the Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL 9 News at 10. Live, local, late breaking.
Well, we have a lot of ground to cover tonight.
So let's go back to KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryant for some perspective on all of this. Dave.
Elsa, Susie, we're all about covering ground. Zev Yaroslavsky is a veteran LA lawmaker. He served 20 years on the County Board of Supervisors and is leaving office due to term limits. Before that, he served on the LA City Council, and we're pleased and honored to have him join us tonight, as well as Kerman Maddox, who's a managing partner at LA-based Dakota Communications. He's a veteran Democratic strategist and has worked on campaigns for President Obama and was a senior advisor to Mayors Antonio Villaraigosa and Tom Bradley. And Reed Galen is a veteran Republican strategist. He's worked on campaigns for George W. Bush, John McCain, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Marshall Tuck, and Jeff Gorell. Well, Zev, I want to ask you, first of all, there's some pretty good races tonight in LA County that haven't gotten a lot of attention. County supervisor, a good close congressional race, and some state legislators.
And there are three of those races are all in the western part of LA County. The supervisor's race is neck and neck, and I would suspect it'll be that way the rest of the night. There's a state senate race between Ben Allen and Sandra Fluke, which is not close. Ben Allen seems to be walking away with it. And then there's a congressional race between Ted Lieu and Elon Carr, which is a lot closer than I think a lot of people expected. And then there's the county assessor's race, Jeff Prang and John Morris. Right. And that's close. That's 52.5 to 47.5, and that's an important race. Most people haven't focused on the assessor's race, but we've had a corruption scandal in that office. Yeah. The previously elected assessor has been absent from the office for quite some time, and we need new leadership in that place, so this election is very important.
Hey, I just got to ask you quickly, lightning round, what about the new voting system in LA County? We keep hearing about it. This is like the slowest counting in the entire country, some people say.
Well, as I like to say, we're not first in counting, but we're right.
Okay.
We have an old system, and our outstanding registrar, Dean Logan, is in the process of transforming our system from the current one to a modern one, which will produce results more quickly and also be more effective. So I think that will be ready for the 2018 election. I don't think they want to roll that out for the presidential, but it'll be tested and rolled out in the 2018 election. But
not a moment too soon.
This is the way it is. But once the votes start coming in, this is a big county, biggest county in the United States. Once they come in, they'll come in quickly.
Hey, Kerman and Reed, I want to ask you, what's the impact of what happened nationally today in the Senate on 2016 in the presidential race? Is there any fallout from this?
So obviously our base didn't turn out. African American, Latinos, young people, that's the core of the base of the Obama campaign in 2008, 2012. They didn't turn out. So I don't know that there's a whole lot that happened tonight that portends anything for 2016.
But was the turnout in the last two presidential elections because of Barack Obama, or was it, or do you expect the same enthusiasm and energy no matter who's running?
That's a good question. If Hillary Clinton is the nominee in 2016, I think you'll have a lot of excitement and a lot of enthusiasm. If it's somebody else, who knows?
And Reed, is this a good jumping off point now for Republican candidates in 2016?
I think it is. I think it's important, though, that we don't take too many lessons from an off-year election vis-a-vis the presidential. I think there are some candidates that won tonight, Scott Walker in Wisconsin, John Kasich in Ohio, that now might have presidential aspirations as they've gotten through their re-election campaigns. But I don't think that there's too much we can portend 2 years from now. As you said, Republicans have a lot of work to do with presidential year voters, younger voters, Latinos, African Americans. And so I think this is a good start, but we now have the opportunity to show in the next 2 years that we can and should be the best governing party in the country.
There's some pretty good statewide races, too, on the undercard that maybe some people didn't expect would be this close. What do you guys think is going on?
The great thing for Democrats in California, unlike the national stage where we took a shellacking, we're actually doing pretty well in California. I think the question in California is, are Republicans going to win a statewide race? They're close in the Secretary of State's race. They're close in the Controller's race. Whether or not they're going to win any statewide races is unclear.
Well, how important is it for the Republicans to finally win a statewide race in California?
It would be great. I think you guys should win all the races, considering you have a 20-point registration advantage. One would think that these would be a foregone conclusion.
See, that's what we're looking for.
But I think Pete Peterson's run a heck of a race for Secretary of State. Ashley Swearingen is showing that she's not going to give up on this against Betty Yee in the controller's race. She's got a very strong base in the Central Valley. So I think, is it easy? Are we going to know tonight? Maybe not, but certainly it's things are looking up a little bit.
And Marshall Tuck, who you represented in the campaign, is in one of the toughest races.
That's been
that's the superintendent of public instruction.
Right, far and away the most money in the state spent on that. Ed reformers versus status quo on education.
That's going to go late into the night.
It's going to go late in the night.
Yeah.
I think only 7%, maybe 10% of LA counties reported so far.
Thank you all very much. We really enjoyed it. Very informative. And thanks for watching from the Senate desk and the discussion table. Dave Bryan, KCAL 9 News.